Hi, I'm Jesse Abbott, your host of Valley News Now, and I'm here today with Jerry Nordick. I messed up your name before, too. Jerry Nordick, and we are talking Fort Ransom Sodbuster Days. Jerry, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks
You're welcome.
so much.
Yeah, it's the show is coming up 9th, 10th, and it's located at Fort Ransom, North Dakota. A lot of people maybe don't know where Fort Ransom is. It's in the bottom of the Cheyenne River Valley at Fort Ransom, which is 40 miles south of Valley City, or probably about 60 miles to the southwest from Fargo-Moorhead.
Okay, so that's not too far of a drive.
No. So it's a collaboration that started about 39 years ago when some people were just having a little demonstration at town, and the Parks Department said, we'd like to have something that would enhance the park.
Yeah.
So a few guys got together, including my father, and we ended up, Fort Ransom Sodbusters was formed.
Cool.
And it has just grown and grown ever since. So we have awesome show. So
yeah, these demonstrations sound amazing.
Very much.
Very much.
Very much.
So I'm going to click through some pictures while we talk, and then you can just tell us everything that's happening there.
What the mission is, we like to try to educate people on where their food comes from.
Cool.
And show how agriculture was and how agriculture is changing. So we end up planting an acre of potatoes, an acre of corn, and an acre of wheat and some oats. And those are all cut with a grain binder and thrashed at the show. The potato thing, I really got to tell you a story about that, Jesse.
Oh, cool.
A few years back, I think it's about 5 years ago, we had a lady. We plant the potatoes, and then we dig them with the horses and the potato digger.
Wow.
Get potatoes on the ground, and then we give everybody a 10-pound paper bag and tell them to go pick potatoes.
Okay.
And that's just a riot to watch all those moms and dads and little kids out there in the dirt picking their potatoes. But this lady was standing on the far end of the potato field, and I went down there and I said, ma'am, can I help you?
Yeah.
Well, she said, I got a few potatoes in my bag, but I don't have any more here. And I looked down and I said, well, right there's a potato plant, vine. Pull it up, there'll be potatoes under it. And she looked at me. No, I said, pull it up, there'll be potatoes. So she pulls it up. Well, she got about 6-8 potatoes, and I said, pull up that other one too, and you'll get your bag full. So she got it full. She got on the golf cart with me, and she said, Jerry, I got to tell you something. I was born and raised in the Bronx of New York.
Oh, wow.
She said, I wasn't out of New York until 5 years ago, and my husband got a job in North Dakota for the state.
Man.
She said, I always assumed that the potatoes just came from the grocery store. At the end of the day, I said to our crew, you know, I said, if we didn't accomplish anything else today but educate that lady on where her potatoes came from, we had an awesome day.
No kidding. That is so cool. So she had no idea. Pull this vine. What do you mean? The potatoes
she
are in
had
the ground.
not a clue. They came out of the grocery store.
They came out of the grocery store. Well, I'm glad you can educate us on where they actually come from.
Yeah.
They don't just appear magically at the grocery store.
That's
a lot
right.
of blood,
So
sweat, and tears that
that's
go into
the
that.
rewards of doing something like this, you know, and the people get to put their hands in the wheat so they can see when it's ground, and that's where the bread comes from. You follow what I'm saying? You know?
It's incredible.
So, you know, we got a little corn shell or shells some corn. Well, we tell them, you know, that's made into cornbread or corn flakes or different things, you know.
Or tortilla chips.
Yeah, tortilla chips. That's another thing, very much so, yeah. So, like I said, we're constantly trying to educate.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, let's look at some more of these pictures because these will be the things that people will get to do. So is this the pie making?
Yes, this site here, if you look, you can see the pit with 1, 2, 3, 4 cast iron kettles in it. Those each have a pie in them.
Oh my gosh.
And they are baking those pies. They make several different kinds. They usually make about 20 a day. But on Saturday at 3 o'clock, we have a pie auction. And we auction off these pies to anybody who wants to bid on them.
Oh my goodness.
This picture here is a picture of the summer kitchen. They make corn muffins and coffee in here.
Yum.
And we completely restored this cook car. Little history on this cook car is that it would run from follow the threshing crew from Christine, North Dakota to the Canadian border
That's amazing.
and feed the crew. Then at the end of the year, they would load it on a railroad flat car, rail it back to Christine, and then it'd be stored for the winter
Sure.
and ready to go for the next year.
And then do it all over again.
But we completely stripped this outside siding down and completely redid it
That is
2 winters
really
ago.
neat. It's beautiful. It's so fun to see. Okay, how about this?
This is where we got a crew making ice cream.
Oh, yum.
They are making homemade ice cream. It's awesome.
It's got to be
It's
so
awesome.
good.
You won't know how good it is until you come and taste it.
Oh, you'll be ruined after that, huh?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I'm not for sure what these guys are doing
Sure.
here. I just don't know what that demonstration is.
We'll have to go check it out.
This one here, that's a woodworking guy, wood carver,
Nice.
and he's got display of all of his different equipment there.
That is so cool.
This is a bunch of the girls. They're called the Woolly something anyway,
Cute.
and they are spinning wool. They card the wool and everything there.
That's amazing. Can you imagine if we all of a sudden had to work like that again?
Yeah. So
I don't know if we
this
could do
group
it.
of people are making lefse.
Oh, yum.
So that's Mary Johnson on the end from Valley City.
Oh, cool.
So that's what this group is doing, and people sure love it.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat left
This young lady is making rummergrat.
Oh, I mean, yum. At least we got all the basics, right? Pie,
Yeah,
lefse, rumagrat.
Right. Very much so, Jesse.
Oh, and this is a really
This
cool.
is a picture of looking toward the barn and out toward the fields. That big tree is awesome.
there we go.
People get under there by the picnic tables in the shade. That's one thing. If you look up here, there's shade trees all over. The people can get up under there. There's a nice breeze usually comes up through there, so
Beautiful.
it's very pristine.
Oh boy. All right. We went to something that was up a long time ago. All right, here we'll go back. Cool.
The other
is
thing I
just
just want to
beautiful.
say that the Parks Department under the leadership of Tyler Modine just does such an outstanding job of keeping the grounds up. I get many comments every show about how things are kept up and how neat it is.
And that takes some work. That
Oh.
doesn't just happen.
I don't know how many acres that Tyler and his crew has to mow, but it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
And they
it's-
just do such a pristine job with it.
That's awesome. So September 9th and 10th
Yes.
out at Fort Ransom. I'm just going to show the ticket here. And maybe we can, was there any demonstrations that we missed?
Yeah, there
Oh,
is.
good. Okay, let's talk about those.
Okay. Basically, a couple other demonstrations that you want to see on the farm is we brought Danny Roan at Comstock, Minnesota.
Okay.
Passed away, and he had a huge sawmill. He's got a 52-inch blade, a 70-foot deck, sitting on the banks of the Red River.
Wow.
It was completely rotted out. So we resurrected it, got it in a farm shop, and completely rebuilt that.
Oh my gosh.
So that sawmill is sawing every day of the show. And it's just, you gotta look at it to really see the workmanship that went in on restoring it.
Yeah.
Another thing that people want to see is right across the gravel road from it is a wheelwright demonstration.
Okay.
Now, you remember the covered wagons had the big high wheels on them?
Yeah.
Well, the wood in the center lots of times would get rotten or bad.
Okay.
So we've got a crew there that orders new parts from the Amish.
Wow.
And they redo those wagon wheels. And once they get the wood done, then the steel rim goes around the outside. But you got to heat the steel rim up in a fire so it expands.
Oh.
Then you can get it over there, and they drop it on, and then they hurry up and roll it in cold water to shrink it.
Oh my goodness.
And then it shrinks it onto the wood.
What a process.
Yes, and that demonstration is not done very many places in the United
Yeah.
States.
I bet not.
So that is a very unique one. So that is another highlight that I think they just want to see, as well as the thrashing. And, there's various field demonstrations going on all the time.
Cool.
So it's just lots of things to see. We have a huge building up in back of antique equipment.
Oh, man.
In matter of fact, I personally have an 1871 all-wood horse-drawn corn planter.
Oh, wow.
And it took two people to operate it, one to drive the horses, the other person sat and ran a stick back and forth that turned the plates and dropped the seed.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
all original. The patent dates are right on the back of the
That's
box.
amazing.
It is unreal.
It's unreal the work that people did here years ago, and I'm so glad that people like you keep this alive so that we can see where what our heritage really comes from.
Very much so,
Yeah.
and that's part of what we're trying to educate is some of the younger generation, the millennials that got some interest or really want to know what it was like
Yeah.
or what took place. It's an opportunity for them to come and see how it
Yeah,
was.
right.
And like I said, I said to the group, I said, we've got to get a couple things more mechanized, and I found a John Deere combine, a little pull type. It's got a 6-foot head on it. We got 40 an hour at the farm. But anyway, people just rave over seeing that little
Cool.
combine there, combining, So it's all part of trying to span the generations
Yep.
and educate, as I said, and so
and
forth.
that appreciation. I think when you see the difficulty that went into it, you can't help but appreciate your parents and grandparents and great grandparents
right,
and
right.
just the
just
how far we've come.
I think they're cutting oats out there today, and then it's all got to be shocked. The bundles got to be put in shocks, and so forth. So that's a lot of work, So it's just been such a legacy working with the North Dakota Parks, and allowing us to add buildings and add demonstrations. I mean, I hate to say it, but I've had several other people from parks come up to me and say, Jer, how do you guys do this? How do you fund it? We're debt free.
Wow.
I mean, we built a new music building for $60,000.
Oh my gosh.
We borrowed money for, I think, 2 years, and it was paid for.
Oh, wow.
So several of us personally donated money to it,
Sure.
but it's just been amazing what we have accomplished,
Yeah.
and that's why last winter I went to Bismarck to accept the award from the Parks Department for the partnership that we
Cool.
have had. So,
Yes.
and as I said, we had a 35-year contract, and I re-inked a new contract for 25 years again.
That's
so,
amazing.
So we look forward to keeping it going. We
Yep.
always need more help. We need more
Sure.
volunteers.
Okay, so if
You
people are interested and like, wow, this is something I'd
Yes,
really like
very
to
much.
get into, or I think of my kids are big now, but even big kids. But if you've got like elementary age kids,
Right.
what a great education.
Right.
So then, who would they reach out to? How would they try to connect?
You
with
just go on to the Fort Ransom Sodbusters post. You could send a
Okay.
note, or otherwise show up at the show, and we'll
and just talk to
take
people.
care of you.
Okay, so right here on Facebook, I just
Yeah.
opened Facebook. You can message them. Of course, you gotta click like and like them, and get connected that way. Yeah, phone number, email right here too.
Yep.
So I'm sure you can contact them through there. That just seems like such a great way to keep that history
Yeah,
alive
and-
and the appreciation for it.
And we've been picking up quite a few new younger members, which
Good.
is awesome.
It is.
You follow what I'm saying? And we've picked up some 60-year-old people too. But
Well, we got
it's-
25 more years of a contract, so
Yeah. That's right, Jesse.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's get some 15-year-olds that'll be 40 by then, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
my little grandkids, one is 11 and the other one is, I think, 14. And the little
Perfect.
11-year-old, he's driving draft horses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you'll see him running around there driving a team and out in the field discing with them, you know.
How
so
cool is
yeah,
that?
so it's really rewarding, you follow what I'm saying,
Definitely,
to see
definitely.
how those little guys catch on, you know, and
Yeah.
and then when we cut hay out in the hay field, and then we rake it, and then we take a hay loader and load it up onto the wagon on hay slings, which are ropes under the hay, and that we go up to the barn, and then the hay carrier is in the roof of the barn, and it drops down. We hook the ropes up, and then it lifts this big bundle of hay up
Oh my gosh.
and put it into the barn.
Wow.
And those little guys are up there helping, you know.
Oh, I bet they love it.
Oh,
I
they
mean,
do. They do.
I had 2 boys. They got lots of energy. That'd be great for them.
Yeah, right. So that
So
and
cool.
that haying demonstration is very popular.
Yeah.
Also, Jesse, we did restore a John Deere stationary baler.
Oh.
Now, years back, my dad talks about by Kent, they would have the haystacks out in the field of loose hay. Then in the wintertime, they would go out and pitch them into this stationary baler
Okay.
and make bales. Then
Really?
they'd haul them to Kent, load them on the railroad cars, and send them to the stockyards in St. Paul.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
And Dad said those bales all weighed 110 pounds. So
Yeah,
by the
they
time
were
you
tough
did that
back
all
then.
day,
I can't even imagine. I couldn't do it once,
Yeah,
man. But
yeah.
you wouldn't have to go to the gym then.
Yeah,
Just your life was
But that-
enough activity.
that restored baler, it takes somebody pitching the hay in, and then it's wire tie. So
Okay.
you got to have somebody standing there poking the wire through, and then when it's done, it's got to be tied.
a
So
lot of teamwork.
yeah, it is, and just a great, awesome sight to watch and look
Yeah,
at,
to
Jesse.
see
You know,
how people work together
very
and
much,
make
very
all
much.
this happen.
Yes.
That's really neat. Well, I appreciate your time so much, Jerry. Thank you for coming on and he was on North Dakota Today, so make sure you check that video out on Facebook or on our website too. But thanks for sticking around so
You
we
bet,
can talk a
you
little
bet.
more.
And I guess I just wish everybody could come on out and
Yeah.
Enjoy, and
I'm going to show the Facebook one more time.
we'll look forward to serving you.
Definitely. Well, it's such a great sight to see, and just such a neat. What am I trying to say? Losing my words here. Just such a neat event that is happening. So
Very
September
much,
9th
very
and
much.
10th again,
Yeah.
and it's just like an hour away from here, so not very far of a drive.
And if you got time, just jump on various Fort Ransom websites,
Yeah.
and there's many different pictures from
and
different
videos
places.
too on
Yeah,
YouTube. We were
there's-
looking up. There's a lot of videos. You can
Yes.
see what you will see
Yeah.
when you head out there. So,
Yeah.
well, again, thank you so much, Jerry, for your time. I appreciate it. We found out we have a Breckenridge connection, so that was kind of fun too.
Very much.
What do you know? It's a small world.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
thank you again. It's Jerry Nordick, and we're talking about Fort Ransom Sodbuster Days. And I'm Jessie Ammett, your host of Valley News Now.